our channel, Exploring It All. I'm Miraculous Girl. Join me and my dad where we explore 6 treasure boxes, the outdoors, gear and equipment, and other fun things and places. Before we get started, hit like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. Ding!
Well, thank you for that amazing introduction, Miraculous Girl. And thank you, everyone, for watching Exploring It All. So, today we're going to take a look at part 2 of our Cybertool Monday. So, for part 2, we're going to be looking at the Victorinox Cybertool 34, or M. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, the original Cybertools went by the number, and the first one being 29 and the second one being 34. And that was supposed to stand for the number of functions of that particular model. However, some people think things like the key ring aren't really a function, and for whatever reason, probably for advertising purposes or whatever, they decided maybe they should go with small, medium, and large. So, but there's actually 4. Plot twist. And actually there's not even 4, there's 5. And we'll get into that in a moment. Now, most of the, well, I think all of the Cybertools came with translucent scales. Now this one, and this was my very first Cybertool purchase, and I have to say the Cybertool is one of my favorite Victorinox knives. But this one came with the blue translucent scales as opposed to the ruby red scales. I really like this one. I've carried it quite a bit. It's a great knife, and we're going to make a little change to this knife in this video. So let's go ahead and start with our scale tools. Oh, I guess I should add in here. Yes, this generally came in the red scales. Like I mentioned, this one's obviously blue sapphire. There was also supposedly a black onyx one, which I haven't seen. So, you know, if anyone has a picture or something of the black onyx, I have not seen the black onyx Cybertool. So let's go ahead and start with our scale tools. To start off with, they always come with the plus scales, and we have the pressurized pin. Works very well. You can get replacements for these when you use it all up. And like I said, it is pressurized, so it will write upside down or whatever. It may even write on the waterproof paper and stuff if it's wet and things of that sort. Now, next up, we have the ever famous Victorinox Toothpick. And we're going to flip over to the other side here, and we have the, again, very famous Victorinox tweezers. And you know what? We're going to leave the toothpick and tweezers out real quick because we're going to digress here for a moment. And I ordered this, and I got this. This came out of Switzerland. It's very hard to find. And it's a tool set, and it has lanyards, toothpicks, tweezers in 4 different colors. And I have picked out a replacement toothpick and tweezers for this. And you know what? We'll go ahead and throw a lanyard on there too. And then we will take the original toothpick and tweezers and throw them in my secondary replacement parts box here. And again, those are available. The only thing is I've gone through all of them. Mini screwdrivers, and I need to get some more of those. So I picked out the blue here for the toothpick and tweezers. Now, unfortunately, there is not a different color for the ballpoint pen. I would have to paint that or something. So another thing with the Cybertool is it does come with the stainless steel pen. Now, all of your current 91mm knives scales have the pinhole, but not all of them actually come with the pen. The Cybertool is one that comes with the pen. Now, this is the patent, and I don't know if you guys can see where it says patent on that or not, and I suppose it depends on the size of the screen you're watching this video on. But this is the patent screwdriver, and this was manufactured from 2003 to 2008 or 2009, somewhere in there. The current one actually has a hex. So, and like I said, I did purchase this new. So that'll tell you I purchased this sometime between 2003 and 2008, 2009, whenever this was being manufactured. Then you have your 4-turn solid corkscrew. I think this is primarily, they chose this as opposed to the Phillips screwdriver because it holds this micro screwdriver, which makes more sense for the Cybertool. I suppose you could use the corkscrew for unscrewing knots or whatever, but it is what it is. Next up, we have the hook. I think this is a great addition for the Cybertool. You can reach in to a little spot where you couldn't get your fingers, and you can pull out wires and sorts, that sort of thing, so you got the hook. You have the awl with the sewing eye. It's got the sharp edge, and this would be great for reaming through hard, solid pieces of plastic and stuff like that when you're working on a computer project or something like that. So next up, we're going to go to the other side. You have your can opener with your micro, smaller screwdriver tip. This is a great tip, and I've mentioned many times I like to use the can opener. I've probably used the can opener on this one. I use the can opener all the time. I tend to not use, if I have an opportunity to open a can, I'm using my Victorinox knife. Next up, you have your bottle opener, cap lifter with your wire bender, stripper, and your straight edge slotted screwdriver tip. This is also a 90-degree stop. After that, you have your small blade, your large spear point blade. Now, I mentioned we have the hook. Whenever you have the hook in a current model, that means you're going to have your scissors. Now, these are obviously updated new scissors. They have the slot in the back of the handle here, the groove for the guide for the spring. There's no screw. It's a rivet style tip. And then you have your pliers, and the pliers have the crimper in the end there. I do have a couple of Victorinox knives that don't have the crimper in there. And then you have a small wire cutter right in here and different types of gripping edges. Funny side note story. I actually used a Swiss Army knife to remove the front bumper off of an Isuzu mini pup truck that my then wife had run into a guardrail and rammed it into the tire, almost totaling the truck. Actually, the truck ended up being totaled. But I actually used my pliers and the wire cutters and a few other tools to remove the bumper so I could drive that vehicle far enough to get us to a safe location. Amazingly enough, it was big enough to fit on the bolts of that bumper. So that's a little funny side note about the pliers on a Swiss Army knife. All right, and then of course what makes it the Cybertool is our bit driver, and it does have a 90-degree stop, and there are 4 tools in it, and it does have, like I said, it has the 90-degree stop, and then it opens up all the way. And inside this head here, this is a 4mm hex and a 5mm. The outer one is the one at the end is a 5mm, and the one on the deeper inside is a 4mm. Then inside you have 4 different bits, or 3 different bits, a total of 4 bits. And we're going to take those 4 bits out and take a look at those right now. All right, so these are as follows here. Let's start with the Phillips. We have a 0 Phillips and a number 1 Phillips. Then we have a number 2 Phillips and a 4mm slotted screwdriver tip. We have a number 15 Torx, be that side, and a number 10 Torx. And then finally we have a 4mm hex. I guess I should hold these up a little bit. And a number 8 Torx. Now each one of these, and I'll bring them all up here. Each one of these has a little ball bearing type detent that pushes in and out to help hold it into place when you're using them. I like this tool. One of my favorite. So that's a look at the 34mm Cybertool. I have to say the Cybertool is one of my favorites out of all of my Swiss Army knives. And I do have to say I really like the 34mm. Now, thank you for watching. This is part 2 of our Cybertool Monday show. And next up, we're going to go to part 3, and it might not be what you think it is, because this one is a more recent addition, is my understanding. And we'll take a look at the next in the series of the Victorinox Cybertool. Once again, thank you for watching. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, and remember, be nice to each other.